Welcome back to part 2, day 2 of this war of mine. We made it through the night. I'm not sure whether for how many days we'll make it, but hopefully between my heater, looking at collecting rainwater, trying to maybe hopefully get some food somehow, it may allow us to improve our lot. So it's the morning, so we draw an event. We add 1 cold to the cold space. Shelling. If more than 1 character went scavenging during the previous night, your shelter becomes the target of a shelling. Distribute 2 wounds between any present characters and destroy 1 already built fitting card. Return it to the fittings deck. After you resolve this card, remove it from the game. Well, it wasn't more than 1, so we'll take that as a no. So we will remove that from the game. So movement. Okay, we're going to have, I think, now Katia only has 1 action, so I think her action is going to be building our rainwater collector. A rainwater collector, collect water as an action, place a weight token here. When weight tokens are resolved, roll a dice. So she'll put that up there as her action. And that is actually going to, that will have cost us 1 filter, which was my resourceful card, so that now is discarded from the game. 1 mechanical part, 5 components, 2, 4, 5, 2 wood. So they've now been spent. So that's now placed. I think first action is going to get 1 water. So it's going to have all 8. And then I think as a second action, we might come down, poke around a bit, and look for some. Now we do have 5 wood and 5 components over here. And then his second action, I think we're going to actually use one wood, 1 book. So we're going to make a fire. So 1 wood and 1 book. We can discard 1 cold token. So that's all our actions. So Pavel has had a drink. A 10 for Katia. Her misery has gone up by 1. We now go to hunger. And the game is over. Because both our characters starved to death. That was brutal. That was absolutely brutal. Those rats, that... So if I go back and I have a look at what could I have done maybe last turn. Herb Garden. Not going to do us any good. Deadfall Trap. We had no chems or rare food so we wouldn't have survived the night anyway. Build a crude stove, build a bed, build a workshop. I don't think there was anything there that was going to help us. I think that was a pretty done deal. So let's do our Cat here left the shelter one night, leaving behind her war diary. It was passed on to her distraught parents, who published it a few years later. Add one book to the story to remove this character from the game. Back to the game. Let's clear that. And 738 for Pavel. One fateful night, Pavel decided to leave the shelter. We tried to stop him, but to little effect. The next morning, he was shot in the back as he ran away from bandits. One chosen character suffers a wound. Remove him from the game. Well, that's the game. If anybody has any thoughts as to what game that they might like to see, again, make a comment, and if I've got it, that'll be the next one that I do. Otherwise, I will see you next time. While I was packing everything up, I was sort of thinking about it, and I think that the thing that I did wrong, and it wasn't the game, this is a very brutal game, but one of the things that I did wrong was I had no food, and the priority that I should have had while I was out finding was to actually try and bring back food. So the next time I play it, food, and to a lesser degree water, because at least that's 50-50 as to whether misery goes up or hunger, are quite vital in the early parts, depending on how your events play. The fact that that didn't last longer than a turn and one phase, has it turned me off this game? Not at all. This particular episode was doomed right from the start because there was no way, I believe, that I could have actually improved my food, barring an event that, and I'll be honest, I haven't looked through these cards. I'm very much of a player that I like to have the events occur, so I don't pre-read things. I've got no idea what's coming up. Probably remember most of what I've read anyway, but I enjoy the surprise, the good, and in this case the bad. So if you're watching this, don't take this as a bad game. It was a little bit of unluck at the beginning, but definitely I underestimated the importance of food, but more importantly actually going through and understanding the turn sequence, because I thought I might have been able to get some water and all that before I actually got to the turn. But it's really the first time I've played it by myself, and about the first time I've played it in over a year with one game with one other person who knew the rules. So yeah, please don't take this as a negative on this game. I actually enjoyed it. Went the way I was thinking it was going to go. It just went far quicker than I thought it would. So I just wanted to end up on those thoughts. That was just sort of pondering as I was starting to pack things up. So I'll see you in the next one.